it hot in here, or is it just me tuning in to hear these three chatting about fantasy novels of the spicy variety? Not your average book club, if you know what I mean. Are you happy to see us? Or is that a dagger? It's Feast, Sheath, Shatter. It's Feast, Sheath, Shatter.
So we can talk about the power up now.
Okay.
So the easy, cheap power up that they got.
Yeah.
I'm about that shit. I love the level up.
This is when it started to feel like a fan fiction.
It was fun.
It was fun. I love it. Let me see what kind of powers you got. What kind of powers you got?
Am I mad that nothing like this has ever been mentioned in any of the other books before?
The only thing that
Yeah.
I can, the only foreshadowing to it is the fact that we have had it mentioned over and over again that their powers are fading.
Yeah.
So to me, this
Okay.
is the solution to that.
I'll take that.
The Autumn King saying our powers are decreasing and we don't know why.
Yeah.
For some reason, everybody isn't as strong as they used to be and we don't know why. To me, this is her correlation to that. She's going, okay, this is why. But Hypaxia's overnight science is like,
She's
it's
a fucking MacGuffin.
insane.
She's a living
Yes.
MacGuffin. Everything that they need to have done, they're like, well, could Hypaxia do that? And they're
Probably.
like, yeah, they think so.
Probably. She could. She
Yeah.
does.
I like pictured
Yeah.
her with, these big gloves on and goggles and like,
Yeah.
Oh, and then they bring the Reaper in because Ethan is like, well, maybe Reapers don't have it. And she like looks him hard in the eye and she's like, got it. He can go.
Yeah.
She literally
Yeah,
touches
she
his
sciences
head
it.
and then is like,
She gets the antidote overnight.
yeah.
And the antidote's really weird because it's so unstable. And they
Yeah.
make a big point to give it to Therian and Ethan, but Ethan destroys all of his. And Therian does make it with 2 vials.
Yeah. Ethan's like, whoopsies.
Well, he falls down. And the humans help him up.
God bless
Yeah.
that sunballer.
Yeah. Well,
He's like a dumb child.
he is that sunball with a sunball hat and his sunball shorts with a sunball leadership skill.
Yeah.
And his
He's like
sunball
he's
intuition.
A Chad. He is a Chad.
He is a Chad. He's a
He's
Brad
like-
and a Chad, but not a dad.
No.
No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I just don't know. I mean, he's also, I was talking to Hannah, I was like, I think this is a Cancer. I think he's a Cancer. Like,
100%.
he is so emotionally irrational. Like, he's just like,
He's all in his feelings.
he's like a Cancer
all
with a
the time.
Taurus moon. Like, there's only one way. One way to get, there's only one solution to the problem.
He becomes Prime after he comes back.
Yeah.
Yes.
From Avalon.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they're there. So Jessica sends them on her boat. They're like, oh, we got to go to
They're there
Avalon for the
2
first time in our whole
seconds.
lives. And they're
Yeah.
there. And
Did they
Hypaxia's
I
like,
think they make it to the land.
Hypaxia's like, they're sitting on the beach.
Yeah.
That's when Hunt flies down with Bryce in his arms.
Yeah.
And we're here. And Hypaxia goes, something amazing has happened here. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. And then,
Yeah,
and then
Moana.
the mist open and Hunt and Bryce plop down and are like, we saved the day. Everyone's meeting here. Surprise. It's crazy that you're here.
It's so
But
convenient
I'm gonna
that you're
send-
right here.
But I need you to go make an antidote to this.
That's why this felt like a
Parasite
fan
that's
fiction.
been in our blood for 15,000 years.
Yeah, that no one's noticed.
That
We need
no
you to
one's
figure this
noticed.
out.
That the Ocean Queen, who is about to be a billionaire too at the end of the book, because she knows how to make actual power.
Yeah.
She has actual electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like real water generated electricity power.
How come she didn't know?
That's what I'm saying. It
'Cause they
doesn't
predate-
compute. She's got a city ship.
Because they
She's got
predate the water. I mean,
science.
they predate the Asteri.
Yeah, they would have noticed. She says, like, the way that Sarah covers that, she's like, I didn't understand why we had to drop 2. It didn't make any sense.
yeah.
And like the whole drop with the parasite, like the parasite will eat your power if you don't give it up. It's a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
It was a little. It was a little fuzzy. It was a
Yeah.
little fuzzy. Hand wavy is.
But
Yeah.
we solve it, and that way Ethan can get ice powers, and then he can Terminator 2 the Underking.
Okay, so it's really cool that they all got their elemental powers back. I loved seeing them all of
Yeah.
a sudden power up. I was
Yeah.
like,
That's fun.
I don't need it to be hard. I don't need it to
It's
be
fine.
earned. Just everybody give them their magic Mario mushroom and
Yeah.
get them where they need to be.
Yeah.
Their elemental phase shifter from Throne of Glass World power is here.
Yeah.
And this is when they start killing off all of the like generational bad guys in
Yeah.
like 2 chapters. We kill
Yeah.
Morven, we kill Autumn King, we kill Sabine,
The
Time
Under
dies,
King.
the Under King, which the scene with Connor, that was really touching. I'm glad we got to
Yeah.
go see Connor, and then Connor's like, we made you guys a magic bullet.
Yeah. We put Memento Mori in it because, wow, she took an art history correspondence course. She learned about Memento Mori, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to use that. Like a lot.
The bullet
What
in
does
the
it
gun.
mean? What does it mean?
Remember, you will die.
Remember, you will die.
So they would put them up in medieval churches. You'd usually have them like up behind they're somewhere on the wall or they're up behind the altar or whatever. And it was usually like a skeleton or like a tomb or like the picture of a tomb with a skeleton on it. And it had a phrase. Part of it was Memento Mori. And it was like, as I am now, so you shall be too. Remember, you will die. And it was like
Yeah.
remember why you're here because you're going to die.
You're mortal. Let's think about the afterlife.
We need you to be scared of the afterlife so that you'll do right,
Yeah,
because that's the only way to get humans to behave.
right.
Is to fear them
And
into
give me
an
your
afterlife.
money.
So she got so much.
She got some movement
It was up
out of
in
that.
the Viper Queen. Viper Queen had a Memento Mori. The first bullet she shot Micah with had Memento Mori written on the side. The bullet that she gave Connor had
Well,
Memento
you know,
Mori
if
written on
these
the side.
fucking bad guys hadn't thought they were invincible, we wouldn't need.
Remember, you too shall die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So fuck you. I don't even really understand what happened with that damn bullet.
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't either.
No.
I think it blew up the castle.
I was trying to explain it to Matt. I was like, let me walk
I don't
this-
think I could.
you
I don't think I
do
could
this.
explain it to
Re-listen
somebody.
to it. Let's get there. Let's get there.
Okay.
Everybody gets powered the fuck up. Then we get the line. This is where the Under King lets drop the word cauldron. Those
Yeah.
are all the same thing. Thank you, Sarah. You have given us some definitive lore that we can all take with us and talk about how it affects things in Prithian. You are leading us down another path to perhaps another series where we get to do the fates and the gods and Erd.
Yeah.
Maybe we get to meet her one day. Maybe she's incredible, right?
Yeah.
So I loved that. Then we have to get back over to the other continent. Like, one of the things for me is that, like, can you guys tell me if this is Rome, if Lunathian is Rome, where is Pangera? Where is the capital? Like England?
That feels too far. It would probably
They'd
just
be bebopping. They'd be bebopping across the seas.
Yeah.
Is it like across the boot?
It might just be like Greece. Just like bloop.
You think?
I don't know. It can't be that far.
They go back and forth a
Because
lot.
they travel
Yeah.
a whole fucking lot.
Yeah.
And Bryce mentions
What's on the if this is Italy, what's over here? Is this Africa?
wow, we're sounding really
is that
American
Spain?
right now.
Down.
Let me
Or
look
is
it
that
up.
Spain?
That's Spain, and then down here's
Spain,
Africa.
that's Africa down there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Africa down there.
All right,
they're
hang
right
I think
on.
that's
there.
Egypt right down there.
Hang on, I'm
Right
trying to
Right there,
zoom in
across
on
the
something.
Mediterranean
Over
Sea.
yonder.
What's on that Mediterranean Sea?
Mediterranean.
What's on that Mediterranean Sea?
What's all up in there? Hang on.
Hold on, let me pull up the word
I
atlas.
think of Valen as like
Okay,
Sicily.
Yeah. All right, so Italy sticks out into the Mediterranean.
Like an island off of Italy?
Yeah.
I think of Avalon as like Scotland.
Oh, whoa. It just didn't
At
take
least
them
you
that
know
long to
that's
get
far
there.
away. Yeah. We know where
Well,
things
I mean, they
are.
have a Scottish accent.
Yeah, I know.
But it's so far away.
That's why you think of it as Scotland.
Wow, that is nowhere near. There is the Mediterranean Sea. I'm not a dumbass
Yeah.
completely.
No, I think
Completely.
everything. I
Oh,
kind
it's
of pictured,
Tunisia and Algeria. Where's Egypt? Oh, Egypt's to
kinda
the east.
pictured everything on the Mediterranean Sea, like you would have for like a Rome.
So maybe
During
no,
Roman
I don't.
times.
I don't think. I think.
Well, she mentions that her parents' house is like a weekend trip away. Like you don't go for a day trip.
but
And
in
then
Italy,
she
so
says-
her parents' house is in like Germany.
And,
Germany.
Well, no, because she says she can teleport like the 24 miles or something. It's not far to her parents' house because later she gives you a distance because she says once she can winnow, they want her to teleport there every day for dinner.
But then when she puts what's his name in the car with Fury to
Yeah.
drive there, it was going to be like
8-hour
an
drive.
8-hour drive.
Yes.
In Italy, if I'm looking at Italy and I'm looking at Rome, it looks like Germany is about an 8-hour drive.
Sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
Czech, France.
France. I apologize to all the French listeners.
If there's no one, there's no
if
one.
No,
ever-
sure there
if
are.
ever
We're in 50
you were-
countries.
Yeah, we are
No.
in 50
No.
countries.
We have
No one-
Swedish fans.
Yeah, because they like murder.
And did you
bot.
know that Sweden is one of the top growing markets for podcasts?
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like people in Sweden.
So we have fans over there. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And then the whole end thing happens because they go up to like the fucking North Pole.
Okay, they go to Nenya. Put some respect on it.
The North Pole.
The North Pole.
And her mom's
Okay,
like,
okay,
"Could
okay,
we have
okay,
gone
okay,
to the
okay.
South
All
one?"
right,
And she's
hold
like,
on.
"No,
No,
it's
the
also
South
cold."
Pole is colder.
So Fury and Juniper show up for the first time, which I'm a little bit disappointed at how little they were used. They're like main characters for
Yeah.
a little bit. And I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get more Fury and we haven't used Fury.
We have not used Fury.
At all.
And that feels a little bit
We
hard.
don't even at the end.
That feels a little
They're
hard.
just like, "You stay home." We'll
But
be back
Fury
later."
does
You
get to
watch the
protect
kids.
Cooper?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
That's
Cooper.
his new name.
Yeah.
So I am not going to give Bryce a hard time for leaving Coop behind.
Okay.
But you guys can.
I will.
I will.
I have a list.
Yeah, I know. So we go to the Rift.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cool that they brought back the Harpy. I thought that was a really great way to show us what
Use
the
her at
mask can
all?
do.
Yeah.
That moment, I think one of my favorite moments in the whole book, it was when she opened the door and Nesta was there with the context of the extra chapter.
Yeah.
With the context
With
that
the
her
context.
and Nesta connected, that part means a lot to me, and I think it's really special. The fact that Nesta is just sitting by the fire reading one of her smutty books,
Yeah.
and she's like, "What are you doing here? You
Again?
trapped us. We couldn't get out.
Yeah.
We were trapped
And
in
now
were
you
in there
open a
for
portal in my living room.
days.
Asriel.
We actually just got home. This is my first day home.
Rysand was so fucking mad. Cassian laughed at Azrael for days because you stole that fucking knife from him. You stole his like heart weapon, his soul weapon.
Yeah.
You stole it from him. He has nothing.
No, he has nothing.
How about Bryce being like, my brother has scars too? Like no one ever says anything
Nobody
to Azrael
mentions
ever.
the scars.
No one talks about the scars. Do you have a mate? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
him all of the most awkward questions.
Do you have like just a normal
Is your
person?
mom-
Man,
is
what
your
happened to
mom a
your
bitch?
hands?
Is your mom an asshole? Nesta doesn't talk about his. Nesta goes, he doesn't talk about his mom. And then, like, she has that really, really hard moment where
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to make people mad. I feel like that's where Nesta is in her life. Like, I
Yeah.
don't really mean to make people mad, but
But
I'm also not
everybody-
going to do what you tell me to.
Yeah.
I don't doing this to make you mad. I'm just doing it
But
because I
there-
want to do it.
I appreciated how Bryce got emotional and she laid it all out there for Nesta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Her one
thank
moment
you.
of emotional
yes.
vulnerability.
If Bryce had brought that level of like, I'm just gonna be real with you because my parents can't hear me and understand me, but
yeah.
I'm about to do the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Can you please just take my parents, even if you won't give me the mask? Because that way at least I'll know they're safe.
Yeah.
Because in reality, y'all, she's not as emotionally attached to Cooper as she is to her parents.
Right.
Like she can't live without Randall and Ember.
Yeah.
So to just get them out of the way, like, here's my collateral. This is the most important thing to me in the world. I need this to save this world, please. And if we had known that she had that connection with Nesta earlier, it would have made so much more
It
sense.
would have made
Yeah.
so much more sense.
Yeah. I want a book. I want them to reprint a book with the chapters in it.
All
Yeah.
of them in.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of... In
not all
England-
of them. Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Take out some of the ones that are in this book.
No,
Take out
no.
a
Some
sense-
of the bonus chapters I thought were bullshit, but
I didn't read them all.
I didn't read the Bryson Hunt one.
You didn't read the Bryson Hunt one?
Uh-uh.
Oh.
Don't they just do it?
I mean, it's cute. It's her poking fun at her mom about her little lettuce babies.
When does it take place?
Like after.
Oh, it's
Way
an
after.
after.
And Getty's
Yeah.
pictures.
So it's an epilogue?
It's an epilogue.
Oh, I'll go back and read it.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll go back and read it.
That was when I was like, okay.
I like the Rune and Lydia one. You know why? Because of the political statements.
Yeah.
Where she's like, there are people that actually do not believe that we're running out of first light.
Yes.
So they're still using their cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you
The-
talk
the
about in
first
real
light
life,
zero
girl?
deniers?
Yeah. First light zero deniers. The first light
Yeah.
deniers. That's what I loved about that part.
Specifically the chapter where, I mean, I liked the Ember Nesta thing, but I think she forgot who Reese was. I think she forgot who Reese was.
Resand?
Yeah. Because when he comes and he's like, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill Nesta, I'm going to kill all of you, and they all have to talk him down from killing everybody.
I disagree.
Yeah, I don't think that was who he's not. That's not who we met in like the first couple books of the
I
Avatar
disagree
series.
because Resand is a father now. This is the first time we get to see him do anything as a father, as someone who is protecting him, not knowing. Like that is considering Bryce is a person that popped out of an open portal and
Yeah.
he has a healthy amount of fear. And I think at this point with Farah and his son, he's not going to be as cautious and kind.
But I'm getting mad at how little credit he's giving Nesta. Because Nesta's like,
well,
I vouch for her.
he's always been like that with her.
And we don't always need to be like that, though. Like
We don't
I'm getting,
need to be, but I think it's more validating to Nesta's story for him to show up like that and someone else see Resand like that. Does that make sense?
I mean, yes.
Because in Farah's first person, Resand doesn't act like that.
Right.
But she's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
But Resand showing up and seeing this girl and understanding the stakes and him seeing firsthand the bombs, the guns, knowing what could happen, it makes it computes to me.
I'm just ready for some of her characters to grow up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a dad shift. I think that his response was actually I think his response showed that he understood the stakes better than anyone else. Like Bryce's
and you're talking about a
This
bonus
is one
chapter.
of the bonus chapters.
Okay.
We
'Cause I'm
get
like,
a
I don't
point
know
of
what's
we get a
happening.
point of view chapter from after Ember and Randall get shoved through the portal, and it's Nesta
it's the
being
Ember,
like,
the
Oh,
Ember
I
and
didn't
Randall
finish
chapter.
it.
Yeah.
I'm only like 3 pages into that.
yeah,
Yeah, he feels it's like giving someone the keys to the nukes.
yeah,
He literally, Nesta, without his permission, like Resand doesn't do anything without talking to his
Yeah,
inner court.
That's true.
Nesta made a decision that he would never make without consulting everyone else
Yeah.
on her own,
that's fair.
and he lost his shit about it.
Yeah,
And it's not the first time we've seen Resand get overly mad about what Nesta does.
I think I was just fatigued with all the she doesn't know how to go from 0 to 2 to 4 to 6 to 10. We go from 0 to 10. We go from
Sure.
from I don't trust you to I'm gonna fucking kill you. Say the right word right now, or I'm going to stab you.
Yeah, and that's I think it's like being mad at your family member.
Yeah.
Because Nesta made this decision that he would never make without consulting his team. Like you just handed her the keys, the nukes, the thing that can protect us more than anything in the world. You just gave somebody who stole as gun,
Yeah.
weapon. And we don't have a way to her. And Nesta's like, well, you need to trust me, and he still doesn't.
Right.
And I think that getting to see that perspective, it says a lot more about Nesta's view of Resand than Farah's view of Resand.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it
fair.
supports the idea that Farah was an unreliable narrator when it came to Reese. And I love Reese, but personally, that's how mad I was at Bryce that she was just let the Asteri out in Prithian.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just let him out,
She
let her
just
out.
Let her out. She was like, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, I do see where you're coming from, but I know that Rhysand doesn't make decisions
I'm
without.
fatigued with all the I'm gonna kill you, and we're all just all angry at each other all the time. Nobody
Yeah, it's
talks.
hard.
And
That's
there's
hard.
no communication. And it's
Yeah.
really tiring. Can we go? We can go back to Endgame now. Speaking of nobody
Yeah.
talking and everybody just.
Well,
trying to
I was
kill each
gonna say
other.
that was like my favorite chapter, but whatever. Okay, moving on.
I said I liked the part with Ember and Nesta.
Yeah, I like-
where Ember and Nesta kind of they
Well, I
have a moment,
I liked how that reiterated Nesta's story,
and then Ember stands up to Rhys.
Yes.
yes,
and he immediately is like backs down,
yeah. Which
and
was
he's like,
thankfully, finally, we went from 10 to 5.
yeah.
yeah,
But he's always been like that with her. He's always been like that with her,
yeah.
and that and even after she saved their ass.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. Well, back to Endgame. So everybody heads on over to Greece,
I can't.
Pangera.
Yeah.
Ethan's running. Hypaxia and Jessica decide to not go.
Yeah.
We'll just hang out here.
I couldn't fucking
I
with
have a
this
TV
ending.
show that I wanted to finish.
I'm going to stay here and do some more science. I'm not going to go. Jessica
gonna
was like,
work
yeah, me
on-
too. And then they changed their minds sometime. But so
When we need them.
Bryce gets the mask. We get the mask.
Yeah.
We show the harpy. That's intentional because she shows the Asteri
Yeah,
that
she's the camera.
yeah. Then Bryce and Hunt do the techie thing where they record a video and Deck uses his super hacky skills to
Yeah.
start the revolution by showing all the humans,
Putting out a viral video.
putting out a viral video
Yeah.
like Drake's penis. Y'all seen those pics?
No.
No? Oh, interesting. There were some leaked photos apparently of Drake's parts.
Well, with AI now, there's no.
I don't know.
I want to see.
Okay, I'll show you later.
Show me later.
Is it? Yeah,
Later.
I will. Stop right now and do
No.
Stop the
Endgame.
show.
it. Okay, so
Endgame.
then
Speaking about everybody getting fucked.
then
So how did y'all picture what Bryce was trying to do this entire time? She's going to release hell, and I picture her marching on the Asteri with the...
first of all, can I tell you
Hell.
that I picture Hell's armies as the Mordecai?
Yes.
They're like Mordor.
Oh.
Yes.
Like Apollyon is Sauron with his outfit on.
Yeah.
It's like if they teamed up with the orcs, the ugly orcs.
Yeah.
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 They're like,
Yeah.
Here we come.
here we come.
Yeah, like if they teamed up.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I pictured it.
Okay.
I thought, okay, we're taking...
Sure, let's go with that.
We're
Somehow we
taking
get
them.
half of them from the North Pole to.
But that's not what she does. What's
She
gonna
portals
do?
them. She portals them. They say that.
She's going to bring back the fallen souls.
Okay, so yeah. So she uses the mask.
Disembodied angel.
She uses the mask to bring back the souls of the fallen angels.
Yeah.
And they take over the Tony Stark suits.
Yeah.
They take over the Iron Man suits.
Yes.
They're all like Iron Man suits. She loves Marvel. I'm sorry, but Sarah J. Maas watches Marvel
Didn't
movies.
she write a Catwoman?
Yeah,
book?
she did.
Okay. That's DC.
Okay. Well, I'm saying they're like
Okay,
superheroes.
I'm not sure what's happening here.
Wrong.
Wrong. I hate it when people tell me I'm wrong. You're fucking wrong. Oh, nothing you say
I'm
matters. I'm
sorry
just
if
kidding.
I interrupted
No.
the-
Yeah. But she
The Evangelion thing happening here.
I don't know what that means.
It's an anime where they are big mech suits with angel
Stop
wings.
touching your mic while you're talking.
Okay.
It's an anime where they are big mech suits with angel wings.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
She likes anime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is an anime. Yeah.
Yeah, she likes anime.
I could not with this.
I mean,
I just had to power through
honestly,
it. at this point.
it was a little bit. It's not the strongest ending we've seen. So it's all over the place, and you can't really name what's happening. They're
And
just
who
like
are they fighting?
teleporting back and forth.
Who are they
And then
fighting?
for some reason,
the
her-
guards, the seven Asteri, and the angelic guards.
And then the Hind sons get kidnapped.
yeah, Pollux takes the sons off the
Pollux
ship,
somehow finds out she has sons. Somehow figures out where this super
and then
secret
they
hidden
get powered
thing
up
is.
because Therian makes it. But Therian powers up, and he is so water magic powerful. I love that for him.
he burst the pipes.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then he just comes comes in and he fills up the whole hallway with water and he puts him in a bubble. I'm like, you are so powerful now. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
I love this.
Now, can you please stop acting like an idiot?
Yeah, please.
I liked Therian at the end.
Yeah, I
He's
like
still my
Therian
boy.
too.
Sorry.
His wife had already run off with her ex
Yeah.
boyfriend though.
He was like, best of luck.
It was fun while we lasted.
Yeah.
I respect you.
I'll divorce you later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
Yeah.
later. And then
Annulment.
the Hind gets Rune shoots his girlfriend because there's no way to do it without shooting her.
Can you? If someone had taken my children and I am on the way to rescue my children and they turn around and shoot me because they think I'm going to get hurt trying to
Yeah.
save them. And
It's a little bit.
There's no power on earth that could save that person from my wrath.
the fucking wrath
It was
that I would have.
It was a little.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Rune. Yeah.
Stupid.
No.
I mean, I think a lot of people feel that way.
We could have done that together.
I'm not saying that's my favorite part either.
No. She leaves and like
But
melts
it-
fucking tanks.
It does allow her to power up via the one last potion. Well, there's two more. So Therian comes and allows her to power up, and then she heals magic, and then all of a sudden we learn that she's alien,
Yeah.
She's Aelin.
but she doesn't seem to have a well that like they had to go into their power.
Yeah. She
And-
does say she draws it up, but it doesn't
but
like
she didn't have to like
didn't have to take days to
do
or
it,
anything.
and
Yeah.
she's really hot, really, really, really hot.
Yeah.
She clicks her hand and people explode.
Yeah.
That's not.
Pollux explodes, doesn't he?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
like puts him to cinders, and then and he falls
That's
over.
because she was so fucking mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Rune shot her.
Yeah. There would be no coming back from that. You shoot me to keep me from saving my children? No.
Yeah, it was a irresponsible move if you ask me as well. So, yep. So then, in order for Rune to save Therian, so they save the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, "Wow, Mom! Like you're
so cool.
I'm so fucking proud of you, Mom. You're so
Your boyfriend-
badass,
I'm less mad at you now.
Mom. God, I'm so
saving our
glad you
lives.
proved yourself because I love you.
I think I love you.
What the fuck? Can you imagine little 15-year-olds? Yeah. Rune saves Therian. His power, he laser beams. As soon as his power comes back, he's got starlight laser
Yeah.
beams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, it was
Sure.
really cool when Bryce melted their brains
Yeah.
like Rhysand can do.
Yeah.
He melted their minds.
Like a
Yeah.
Damati.
Yeah, she demodis them.
Damati.
Fucking slaughters their ass. That was cool. At that point, though, like you're just tired.
You're
At
tired.
this point, I don't know what's going on.
For some reason, the Asteri all walk out and stand in a straight line.
What are we
So that
Because
that the princes of
they're
hell can
arrogantly
walk up,
overpowered. They think they're
and they're like,
overpowered.
Stay back. You have the black hole. Stay back, black hole mouth. And she's like, hi, I know I can only kill you by cutting your head off, but I'm going to stab you in the chest first. Just check it out.
But that is a really cool moment because that's when they learn that if she touches the swords together,
Motherfucker.
and Adis tells her, "Don't do that. It's scary.
don't
It will hurt someone. It creates a point of no land." and then it doesn't work until Hunt fires it up.
Yeah.
Rachel, what did you think about the STD powers?
The STD. Oh, you mean when
The
they...
sexually transmitted powers that allow
Well,
him
he
to...
was created to be like a receptacle for her power and also to provide her with power.
I thought it was a really lovely moment of
so,
intimacy.
I mean, it makes sense that they sort of...
I thought you were going to hate that. I'm glad that you didn't.
I didn't hate that.
I didn't hate it
It's
either.
not unprecedented in her world.
To power up via sex.
Well, to like mingle. For powers to mingle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the tithe is. That's what they give Feyre.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
okay.
I was like,
And
well, okay.
Rowan and Aelin.
I mean, at this point, all I knew was that every single thing she did was just some giant plot hook for later. So I was like, well, he's now going to have to use something that can only use her power. Okay. And then guess what? That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that because my
Okay.
brain doesn't see pictures.
Well,
but it's fine.
that's what every time somebody showed up, I was like, okay, well, something they just did is going to be relevant like 2 seconds from now.
Yeah. Well,
Because it was that kind of book. There was just no moment where I was like, oh, I just need a minute. Like, can we just take a minute?
Yeah.
And I
There
think
was
she
no
tried.
minute.
I think she tried with like the waffles, but like not the minute. Not the
Yeah.
minute. Not the minute. Even at the very end, she couldn't figure out how to end it. That's why Bryce kept going. I'm just going to leave that to people smarter than me. I'm going to leave that to people smarter than me.
Give me an example.
Well, at the end, she's like, I abolished this or whatever. I don't know how they're going to end up rearranging all of the
Yeah, she says that
government.
several times.
She's like, I don't know how they're going to arrange the government.
I don't know how we're gonna have
She
power.
literally
I don't
says, I'm going to leave that for people smarter than me. Like maybe 2 times or 3 times.
But that's okay because that's recognizing your weakness.
I mean, and that's fine. But literally, I think
Because people-
Sarah was tired at that point. She was like, I can't.
yeah, I can't think of it.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what happens in the throne room because or in the first light room.
Yeah, the first
Because
like core.
if I
kill switch.
if I understand it, and I listened to it like 6 times on the way over here to try and really understand.
Mm-hmm.
She used a black hole to combat a black hole.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she knew that they were going to. So did she shoot the first light?
So she shoots
and then
the
opened up,
second light into the first light,
and that
which
blows it.
creates a black hole.
And
That's
so,
their kill
and then she
switch.
opened a portal bigger than the black
So
hole.
she opened another slightly larger black hole, and then
To
another
suck-
portal, and
to
she
s-
like sucked the black holes
Into a
through the
s-
portal.
into a black hole. So is
Yeah.
the black hole that the Asteri fell into the black hole that they opened?
I think.
Or was that
yes.
another black hole out in the sky?
I don't
'Cause-
fucking know.
okay, let me tell you though.
I think it's space with a black hole, and so what
Right,
they're
but-
doing is
but
going
is
to
that
like the event
third,
horizon.
Is that the third black hole?
You
or
know
the-
what? Just you know the ending from Big Hero 6
Nope,
when there's
'cause
the
I never saw
portal
that.
and everything is going into the portal and they go into the portal.
Oh,
and
I
they have to get out.
imagined it like in Iron Man
That either that
in the
too.
Avengers movie
And
when
luckily, she holds her breath, so she survives in space.
Bryce.
Well, she dies, but she doesn't freeze or anything. She just
That's because she's got the power of the horn.
oh
They explain that
okay
the horn keeps her alive long enough to not freeze.
yeah. And then Rigelis grabs her, and they have to separate them because they can't bring her
Oh my
back
God.
and not him.
I will say, the part that makes me tear up the most and like really gets me crying is when Shahar comes to help Hunt.
Yes.
That part for me,
I knew there was something I liked about the end.
Shahar being the one that comes over to Hunt and is like, I'm going to help you save Bryce,
Yes.
is really emotional.
Feeling her presence, how she yeah.
And she jumps on the projectile and
Yeah.
helps get Rigelis off Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
And then But
That
so
was
wait,
sweet.
it's 3 black holes or 2 black holes?
It's 2 black holes in a portal.
2 black
holes in a portal. 2 black holes in a portal.
Yep.
2 black
Holes in a portal. 2 black holes in a portal.
That's what I'm going
Holes in a
with.
portal. Okay. So this is when Iron Man happens.
Yeah.
Because Bryce knew that was going to happen, so she gave Hunt the mask. And she knew that Hunt was going to have the power to put the mask
And I
on.
love how Hunt is there like, she gave this to me for a reason.
He's holding that mask.
It
He's like,
feels
long
like a
time.
long
He's like-
time. It
he's
feels
like,
like a long time.
This
very
feels-
long time.
This feels significant. Adis is like, dude, she's already dead. Like, I'm sorry.
There's no way.
I told her to choose life, and I
yeah.
guess she didn't choose life. Oopsies. Like, I'm
You
sorry.
can go with her. And
You
he
wanna-
means it. He's like, do you want to die?
He's like, you want to die? You can die. And Hunt
guys
is
can
just
go
like,
together.
Hunt's like, fucking think. She gave you the mask.
Should I
Why do I have it? Why
So
do I
he
have it?
puts on the
Why do I have
he
it?
puts on the mask and the Iron Man suit, jumps out into space, which I want to say a lot of people thought it was really weird, but I do not, because this is a science and a magic, and she used the song that helped her inspire the book is from Gravity. So in my mind, she always saw something that happened in space.
Gravity, like the movie Gravity? Oh, okay.
It's a soundtrack from that.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe from Interstellar. One of
Probably
those. One of those soundtracks.
Mm.
So I think it's Gravity. But so I think she always pictured that. So that didn't surprise me at all. I wasn't surprised by the space stuff. But then he goes and gets her.
Yeah, brings her back.
And then our sweet baby billionaire,
Jessica's like,
who will do anything in the world for Bryce.
She's like, it is really hard to find good help.
And I've been alive so long.
So long.
I think I'm done now.
And Apollyon's still like, you're a lying priestess. And she's like, I'm not though.
No.
I still think those
she was
books are
lying.
pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I still think so. I think she's taking it to the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get our
Our legend moment.
moment.
Love by the sun.
That's all I could see. Have you seen that movie?
No.
You've never
Oh
seen
my
Legend?
God. Okay, so the ending.
Legend with Tom Cruise? But wait,
No.
so anytime that I mention the darkness, you don't know who I'm talking about?
The darkness?
The guy that gave
Yeah, so at the
Darkness.
ending of Legend, there is the evil guy is Lord Darkness.
Lord Darkness.
And
He
he
gave me my
gets-
first clip boner without me knowing what it is.
And he gets sucked out into the outer void. And then Tom Cruise gets to rescue his lady love. And then they turn around.
What
all
year
of-
was this movie?
83.
1980.
Okay.
2, 3,
No,
4.
It's newer than that. It might be 84.
Let me
Anyway,
look.
it's either 84 or 89. So they turn
I'm
around,
kinda
or
sad I
87.
don't know that.
And so they turn around, and all of their friends and their unicorn friends and their little friends that they've and their
Oh
little
my
fairy
God.
friends,
85.
85 are
year I
all
was
waving.
born.
And while Tangerine Dream sings the song that's like,
Loved by the sun.
you need to look it up. It's
Wow.
Tangerine
Wait,
Dream.
we have to
It's-
watch it. I think
Yeah.
I think I own it. It's like one of the best fantasy movies ever. It's probably what
It's-
started my fantasy obsession.
Wow.
Because the bad guy is accidentally attractive as fuck.
it's Tim Curry dressed like the devil.
Oh my god, he's so
Oh my
hot.
God.
He's
Yeah.
so hot. It's so hot.
It's
and I
Tom
remember
Cruise, like
being
one
a
of
little
Tom Cruise's
kid.
first movies.
And I remember being a little kid being like, why do I want her to end up with him? He's like
and
my
then
first.
Mia Farrow starts out as this pretty princess,
And she
then
puts on a Nesta dress
she
and
gets
dances
seduced
around.
by darkness and gets
He's
this
so
like
hot.
awesome dress.
Yeah, she's so hot.
Yeah,
And you don't understand why she ends up with Tom
I
Cruise.
cannot even picture this movie.
I
Like,
am
can't
so
even, like,
excited for you to
picture
experience.
one character.
yeah. Well, I will. I
because
sent
you
you the
grew up.
YouTube video of the ending, so you can hear the Tangerine Dream song, which
You
is
did?
exactly what is playing over the end of this book.
Okay.
Yeah,
The-
Yeah. All the creatures holding open the door.
yeah. I mean, it was a very.
Have you rached all you need to rach about this, or do you still need
Do you
to
need
go
to
over
go-
your list?
Do you
Go-
have more? Because I have a list. We can go together. I have a feeling
Yeah,
we
go-
probably have the same list.
Go through your stuff.
I think it's probably very similar, so I'll let you rach, and
You hop on.
I'll just say yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of it we already covered, so like I hated the torture scene, but that's established. I hate torture scenes, but it was just a bad torture scene. Like if you're gonna do a torture scene, do a torture scene.
Yeah.
Like I want to feel like they're actually being tortured, and I don't know, it doesn't matter.
I mean, they did get their wings cut off, and then they grew back and they were itchy,
Yeah, that's true. They were itchy,
and that's pretty terrible.
He
if
was
you ask
like,
me.
God.
And then
ants
she
crawling
and
about.
then
Scratch,
she gave
that's
she gave
torture.
medicine that made him grow back faster, so
Yeah.
they were even itchier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Rune had his hand chewed off by his friend.
That is.
That's pretty intense.
They did that to
Their
themselves.
their arms were not in their sockets.
it's not just the torture.
They had
scene.
to live
It's
in
the
their
fact-
pee-pee and their poo-poo.
It's the fact that they got into this torture scene because they took the weekend
Guess what?
off and tried to overthrow the
Hey,
government.
guess what?
Yeah.
A fae prince, an angel, and two angels walk into a bar.
Anyway, so we're on Bryce's overnight stay in Prithian because she's there for like 2 seconds. And like I know there's supposed to be some divine guiding force that creates all these coincidences. and
Yeah,
that's
it's
what Erd
their name is
supposed to be.
Erd.
But I'm sorry. After a while, it just feels like lazy writing. So she's sitting in this, they put her in this random cell, which just happens to have this grate that literally no one has ever looked in before. And there's these monsters down at the bottom of this grate. And she's like, well, I'm going to risk it. So she
You know what
winnows
this
down
feels
there.
like? It feels like a book that you wrote one version of, you threw it away and rewrote it.
Yeah.
It does feel like she wrote it in 5 weeks.
It feels like she wrote, yes, because she winnows down there, teleports down there, whatever. And oh, you know those bad guys that you thought were bad guys? Well, as long as you're calm, they stay calm.
But they also respect her as the princess, as the Queen Dusk that she is. Not hard to buy.
But she doesn't have that power yet.
Well, I gullibly thought that was wonderful.
Okay. Well, she wanders through them.
They
and then-
respected the scar on her chest.
So I have, and she somehow gets by the nasty beast by being calm, and they have to use the mask to kill something that Feyre killed with a sharp stick. And what happens now that the Middengard worm isn't there to keep the nasty beast population down? Maybe it was a part of the ecosystem down there. Because it's not like it chases them because Bryce gets it to chase them. And then it's running away from Nesta, and they're like, well, we need to lure it back so we can kill it because it's evil, and evil things need to die. And it's like, well, it was eating the bad things. Maybe
It was also eating the magical powers.
What magical powers? Were
It was-
people taking magical shits?
No, it was feeding off the power that was hidden below the prison. They said that.
Okay, but the power that she got wasn't reduced in any way.
She took away all the power.
But
She
what was it
absorbed it
eating?
into her.
What has it been eating then?
The monsters and the power.
But if it was eating the power, and the power
Stop, I'm
is
gonna
all
be
still.
It was nibbling on the power.
I should have
Okay,
wore
fine.
a diaper tonight.
And then I wrote the Hind. No, this character arc is shit. Not the Hind, but the Hind's relationship with Rune. I was so mad at that whole, because she feels like a mature adult who's had children and who's had to make hard decisions, and
And
he's
she's
never,
dating that fine bad boy with all them tattoos and piercings.
He's so hot.
who's never
that's
had to make a hard decision.
Actually,
in his
what
life.
they're like.
Yeah.
If you date the bad
Which is
boy,
why I
you're
wouldn't
going to
date
get
the
that.
bad boy.
Oh.
Well, we can't all be.
Oh my god, the best
smart.
part. No. Yeah. Why can't you? Why do you have to be wrong? Okay?
Yeah.
No. The best part in the whole book is in the extra chapter when Ember calls their wings, Cassian's wings, dragon wings.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not bat wings. She calls them dragon wings. And I was like, I will call them that from now on now too.
Cute.
The shadows and how everyone pops out of them constantly. Sabine and the shit wrap up of her character arc.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, she didn't feel.
I was like, so really?
She shows
That's
up.
it?
She literally shows up, gets a line, someone goes, poof, and shoots her in the face.
gone.
And they're like, oh, ooh, what? What?
Yeah,
And
I
then-
was gonna. It doesn't feel like it does Sabine's arc justice. It doesn't
she
feel
had
like
no arc.
it feels like it doesn't do. It doesn't like value what Sabine was for the rest of the books.
Yeah, she was this big villain, and then all of a sudden
she was
this.
outed.
But
Yeah.
she
Just
was
really
a
quick.
lame villain because she had no like ulterior
But at least she was
motive.
a
was like, I'm bad.
But at
I'm
least she
bad."
was consistent.
She was
And
consistent.
she was a bad guy that, I mean, she did have redeeming qualities. Like she did, there were moments where we saw her vulnerable and grieving for her daughter.
When did First Light become commercially available? Because as soon as Sabine gets injured, they're like, oh, Amelie or whatever her name is, the other lady, I don't know, who shows up not at all in this book and is like a bad guy only in one book. They're like, oh, she's feeding her like a steady diet of First Light. And all of a sudden, First Light is medicine for everything. They're like, oh, I was giving her First Light. And then the Hind or Lydia gives First Light to Baxian and the Hunt to regrow their wings.
yeah, where are they getting First Light?
I
And in the previous books, it's all healing potions. I mean, we
Where are
talk
they
about
getting
how
First Light? They have to give that to the gates. First Light is
First
your
Light-
first light.
yeah, but no, there's
That's when you make the drop.
First Light is what powers every single thing in the world. So
I guess you just turn on a tap somewhere.
yeah, it's available. And
Oh,
But
I,
it's
Yeah.
not. It's
I
not
don't have
in,
issues with that. If they
It's
they
not
use
in
fi-
any-
they
we
use
know.
First Light a lot.
No,
I've read
for
them
glow
several
sticks.
times.
For glow sticks,
Yeah, not only that, they power
Keychains.
everything. They use them for everything
But we
that turns
haven't
the light
used
on.
it for healing up until this point at all.
You need to do your little PDF search.
Yeah.
And
if
find
you
out
can
every
prove
time.
me wrong, I'll be proved wrong. But this is the first book where we've used it in like a syringe form.
Okay, I will find you your
Previous
answers.
to this, it's all I took a tonic, I drank a
potion
potion.
with First Light in it.
No,
Yeah,
just a
made with
potion.
First Light.
No.
Made with First Light potion.
No. All right, and then Sigrid, Ethan. Seriously, she's awful. She somehow only gets worse throughout the entire book.
I think what makes him the stupidest, I think what's really, really hard about Ethan is that he's fighting for something that no one else cares about.
No one
like,
is fighting
if
for
we
Secret.
wanted Secret to be that person, we might care with you.
Yeah.
But you, like, the readers know how dumb you are. The only person who doesn't know they're dumb is you.
Yeah.
And that makes him seem not self-aware. And that is really hard to keep going there with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're going to continue to be a dumbass because nobody wants Sigrid to be the Fandir heir.
No one.
No one gives a shit about that but you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fight at the Viper Queen, in which the stakes aren't clear and everyone's mad because they're fighting to get Tharian out.
Yeah, that was weird.
And by the time they leave, the fire sprites decide to burn down her village. Burn your village down. And then and then all of a
That
sudden
escalated quickly.
there's like a $90 million thing out for Tharian because he was not involved at all in having it burnt down.
I forgot Sabine gets killed then.
Well,
Oh,
she
yeah,
doesn't
they blow her head off.
Yeah.
That's when she has to have the first light.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And then,
That's when she has to have the first light medicine.
that was
Yeah.
that first time.
That in the
Okay.
previous books they called potions.
I said this character is so petty. Sigrid is so petty. She comes back as a reaper and then sides with Sabine and then eats the prime and then runs off.
Eats the prime and the astronomer.
Yeah. And then is like, bye, I'll see y'all in a later book.
So what do you think happened in her writing process from the first book to the third?
Well, you said she wrote a whole book and then she wasn't happy with it. So she wrote this book in like 4 months. This feels like a book that was written in
5
4 months.
weeks.
5 weeks.
This feels like a book this feels like a first draft. This feels like I
Yes.
wrote down a whole bunch of plot seeds.
It feels
This
like
feels
I have
desperate.
to write the sequel or the
Yeah.
third book, and so
Or I'm going to get fired. Like, it
but
feels
there's
like...
so much. The first one is so, to me, knowing she's a Pisces, it really does feel like her heart was in the first one, and the third one was a chore.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she could have made the first one standalone and it would have been fine.
Honestly.
And then she didn't need to have any plot carryover. She could have had a second one in the same world. And then she wouldn't have had to carry over every time
And she has, the thing is, she does have due dates.
Yeah.
And so this feels like my due date was coming up, so I got the AI to write me some book.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Well, and this doesn't make me lose faith in her. Like, this is still a Sarah J. Maas book.
You'd have to see a couple in a row.
Exactly.
I'd have to
more.
see, I'd have to,
It would
go
take
ahead.
a lot for me to give up on Sarah.
I wrote
a lot.
Why are her characters always so mad, in all capital letters, at each other, at dead people who try to help them, at dead people who made bad decisions and tried to fix it? Said, I hope they fuck up royally and their descendants spend eternity telling them boo fucking who.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does lack empathy,
Yeah.
you know?
A lot of her characters do. A lot of her characters are like, that's fine for me, but I hate it in you.
And that was not the Bryce from the last book.
No, that's why I liked the first Crescent City book was
Because Bryce was smart and emotionally
but
intelligent.
the more
Yeah.
magically powerful her characters get, the less dimension they have.
That's a good point.
I think she only knows how to write people in high stakes situations one way.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that she knows how to write. Okay, let me stop saying that. I think that what she thinks female leadership looks like is how these people are showing up.
Yeah.
And I think that I think it's a conscious choice because I think it probably is very similar to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I mean, Aelin and Bryce end up in similar situations where they are carrying giant burdens and they are making decisions that they're not going to ask for permission. They're going to do it because they know what's best.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, what she thinks that kind of leadership. I mean, and they're her books, and they work out. It works out. It works out in the end.
Yeah.
But I definitely
that's
think
that's consistent because Feyre does that too. Feyre goes back to the Spring Court and destroys the Spring Court, but that destroys everybody in the Spring Court.
Yeah.
Like even the people who just trying to live their lives.
Right.
Yeah.
I do think that Bryce would have been more Bryce if she had used the charm more, the communication more.
Yeah.
If she had been able to convince people of things
Yeah.
versus just stealing.
I mean, literally everyone is just like, she's so amazing. Even at the end, the planet is like, oh, Bryce is great.
You mean
the-
Midgard as a whole?
Yes.
Because she has the Arcesian amulet and it feels her energy?
Well, she senses, as sentient as the planet could be, it felt like it was approving of what I had done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
I
love it.
MacGuffins aplenty. Like the Viper Queen was just a MacGuffin. Hypaxia was just a MacGuffin. So was the Autumn King, Moravin, the Murder Twins, Tharion's new wife, a.k.a. Tharion's external character development because character building is too hard. And then
Which
Lydia's
is something
sons.
she does well.
She does that well, but she didn't have time.
She didn't have time. She didn't have time for him to
She
grow
didn't
up.
have time in
She had to
this
turn her
plot.
homework in.
She
Yeah.
didn't have time literally while she was writing it.
Yeah.
She had to turn her homework in.
Ethan's bottomless pit of unbelievable self-loathing. Bryce's outright dismissal.
Tharian's too.
Yeah.
Tharian's too.
Bryce's outright dismissal of everything Hunt went through after he was
Yeah,
captured.
we haven't even talked about that. She did get. It's not as bad as some people make it out to
It
be
doesn't
because
last that
she
long.
does turn around and say, "I'm really sorry. Like
She
I really
does.
do see where you're coming from." And that moment to that moment is only 2 days.
Yeah.
But in an 800-page book, it feels more intense.
It
Yeah.
feels so long. And,
But it
like,
wasn't very long. It was literally like
Literally.
24 hours.
But there's that whole scene where he's like, she tells him, "You couldn't have stopped me. Like I was going to do what I was going to do. And I thought we were on the same page." And he's basically like, "No, you're railroading me into trauma, but I'm here with you. I followed you, didn't I?" And she's like, "That's not good enough. You can't just come with me. You have to agree with me. I make the decisions.
Yeah,
I
I-
decide what we're going to do, but I need you to not just be with me. You have to tell me I'm right."
Yeah, I remember being very put off by that part.
Yeah. And then they have that fight where he says he's just going along with her. Anyway, and she tells him he needs to get over himself.
Yeah.
Are those the words she uses?
Yes.
The
She
get
goes,
over
she
yourself.
goes, "Umbra Mortis, get over yourself."
I don't remember that.
It's there. I'll find the page number for you.
I don't remember that.
You know
probably
what? I
slipped my
wrote down
mind.
the quote. No, I didn't. I wrote down another quote. Hunt nudged her with a gray wing. "I'm assuming you have some plan up your sleeve that you're going to spring on us at the worst possible moment." "I think you mean the coolest possible moment," Bryce said. And Tharian, despite himself, smiled again.
That was a good part for me.
Fucking waffles. That's in here. Setting curiosity aside, for Perry's missing power up, he does that even at the end when Ethan comes back and he's given everybody the antidote. And Perry, he comes back and Perry's back to normal.
Who?
What's her name? Is it
Yeah, Perry.
Perry's back to normal.
She's the Omega.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, she has strawberry cinnamon.
strawberry
Yeah.
cinnamon.
So is that because she's his
we
mate,
don't
or is
cover
that
it.
because she lost the power that fast?
I think
We don't
that
know.
Sarah's setting her up to be Ethan's mate. Like anyone cares
but
about.
did she lose the antidote that fast?
We don't know.
I don't think she took it
We don't know because this is another
because
moment
he
where he
wasn't
literally
there.
says,
He
"No."
dropped off.
He says she wasn't in Omega when I left. And then when he comes back, he's like, "Wow, her smell has already gone back to the way it used to be."
Huh.
And then she's like, "Well, cool, I'm going to the Blue Court." So I was thinking that was going to be like she's a mole of some kind in the Blue Court, but that didn't pay off. So that's fine. Hunt test tube baby. Hell reveal was just,
That was so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
People have been thinking for 4 fucking years, who is Hunt's dad?
yeah.
And for it to be treated with such irreverence.
Yeah.
That's this book to me.
The astronomer is Yanthi all over again. She forgot he existed. She needed him to pop up somewhere. She was like, "Oh, look at that. He's with the wolves."
Well, I wish the Weaver had killed him. That would have been cool.
Yeah. That'd been better. The showdown with the wolves in which she throws every character she's tired of keeping up with so she can kill them off. The Nesta mask trade, which I believe Hannah had feelings about, and so did I. Because I know he's not biologically their son, but when she gave him to her parents, she was like,
Have another child.
and they accepted this child.
And that to
they have
them
been-
is their child.
That is
That
their
is
child.
their child.
And it would be like if my older sister took my parents away because she was planning to like nuke the United States and took my parents to safety and then was like, oh, sorry, I thought you'd be suspicious if I took Rachel, so I just left her.
Yes.
I think I don't have a problem with it because I'm a childless woman.
Okay.
I think you can put yourself in those shoes, but also like they would have rather died and had him go.
Yes. Yes. And
Once-
she took over that choice for them. She didn't give them a choice.
Right. It would be like, it's so, I don't want to talk about Nazis. It would be like in war, something is happening and you get to safety and you know your child's not safe and you can't go back and get them. They're just gone. You have to accept that they might die.
Yeah, and I do think it was a really selfish moment of Bryce because she decided, I love these two people more, and she really hasn't bonded with that other kid. But she also left Fury, Juniper, and Baxian over there.
Right, but she's the one who gave Cooper to them.
What if she had said,
did
what if
that.
she had opened the door with Nesta and pushed 10 people through that door?
Like, can you just hold this group?
This is my cadre.
Yeah.
And I would like for you to hold on to my triari for indefinitely.
Yeah.
And like push them through.
We didn't even talk about Isaiah.
No.
And Naomi showing up with Celestina.
The Underking getting Terminator
Ooh,
2'd.
how about Celestina and Hypaxia's relationship just falling apart until the end?
Until the very end when Celestina's like, I know how to help. I'll go fuck that guy so he won't come.
Well,
Ephraim?
that's not what she did. She
Oh,
just
okay.
distracted him.
Oh, okay.
She didn't use her feminine wilds.
Oh.
She just said
Sure.
she locked him in a bathroom.
Okay.
She locked him in the closet.
Head
Yeah.
cannon.
Like
Hand cannon.
the Autumn
So
King.
wrong. Sorry.
Wrong. You're wrong.
The stairway pissing contest in which Rune fucking shoots Lydia to stop her from saving her children. We already talked about that at length. I won't go over it. The hole within a hole within a hole ending that makes no fucking sense, but is somehow less emotional than Big Hero 6. Her whole plan that could have been solved if the Asteri had just left. Why are the bad guys always lining up for Bryce to kill? Yeah, they literally all come out and they're like, hi, the most powerful of us is in the middle, and then we kind of get weaker to the side. So you might want to start on the left and work to the right.
Yeah, that happened.
The hill scene from the end of Legend, and then the wrap up, just no is all I wrote, and then the hanging plot. So Ariadne and Therian at the end is hanging plot point. Perry's missing power, and then I put the Avalon archives. But
Well, the best part of the book is when the Jelly Jubilee comes back.
Yeah.
Much like the flower in
Which
Kingdom
you
of Ash.
predicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too obvious.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I just
So
think that you read this book
Before.
before everyone else.
I mean, some of the stuff makes sense, but
Okay, then tell me who's on the cover.
I think that's
Secret.
Lydia.
Oh.
See, nobody can agree. Nobody can
Is
agree.
anybody
I
on the
googled it.
covers?
It's Nesta.
Is anybody on the covers? I thought they were just abstract. I mean, I know, but they're just
No,
a design.
the first one is Bryce.
The second
The
one's
second
Hunt.
one's Hunt. Who is that?
That's Lydia.
I didn't even look at him. I think of him as the red one, the blue one, and the gold one.
That's funny. I see that as a black one.
It could be Jessica.
Yeah,
I'll be sad. Jessica is gone. We got to see where Lahaba went, though.
I
Lahaba
know.
went to the
I was
afterlife.
definitely crying.
That was a tear
I was
jerking
crying.
moment.
I mean, I was very emotional throughout the end of this book. I mean, it masked. It just, you know, y'all aren't alone. A lot of people read this book and knew it wasn't perfect. Some people still liked it, and some people really were disappointed.
I mean, I can't imagine if I had been deep into the Sarah Maas verse and I'd been making charts and PDFs and line graphs. And
I think there are not podcasters. I think there are TikTokers that know the lore better than Sarah does.
yeah. And then they had expectations, and ultimately, she's just a person. She is
Well, and I don't think that you should spend your time being a theory. And what's funny is that there are two creators that I specifically trust and like, and their name are the Happy Hermit and Rosie, and they look the exact same. One of them lives in Australia, and one of them lives somewhere else. And they've actually met.
Oh wow!
they've actually met, and I saw a TikTok that they did together. Like, they know that they're the smartest people in the world and that they look the exact same. So it's always really, really nice to see them together. And they are both so gracious about being wrong and or being right. And like this book, they both loved the book, but they know, I just still think that they both know more than Sarah does about her books.
Yeah.
So another thing that happened, Rowan's ring. So the ring, the gold ruby ring that Lydia says, this is of my people.
Yeah.
It's all I have, and I'm leaving it to you. There's so much speculation that that was Rowan's wedding ring because his ring was a ruby ring. So it's like intentionally a ruby ring from somebody from Throne of Glass, the world.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's
And
not
she's-
the same ring. They look
Why?
different. They look different. Anyways, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Sarah gives you these hints that should be obvious, but then at the end of the day, they're not the same.
Yeah.
Because, like, one of these, I think it was Rosie, the Australian one, was like, this is right. I proved this. I was right about this. And then when you really look at the what it boils down to, it's like, actually, they're probably not from Aelin's descent,
No.
even though I want them to be.
But she says
She's from Brannon, but not Aelin. So everyone, like,
Why wouldn't she be from Aelin?
because they left before Aelin was even born. That's what I'm saying. The timelines don't.
That could have been where the Fae went.
Okay.
Yeah, because so many of the Fae left.
They're gone.
They're
They just
gone. They left before Aelin was around.
Okay.
So they're from Brannon's line, but they're not from Aelin. They left before. Because by the time Aelin and Aelin's father and uncle are king, that bloodline is, a lot of that bloodline's human and not
Yeah, because
Fae.
Aelin's not full Fae.
Yeah.
I just imagine.
Well, she's full Fae, but human is her shifter.
Yeah, she shifts into.
She shifts into
That's
a
her
human.
animal form.
Yeah, her animal form is human.
Lorcan.
So
I just thought that came way after Aelin.
We
that
won't know.
was what you assumed too.
The big Exodus, the 15,000 year ago event.
Happened after Aelin
With
because you
bringing
don't
the
think
boats?
Aelin's still around. You think Aelin's in the past.
Right.
Yeah, me too. That was my assumption too, but don't say that on the internet
I won't.
because the
Nor will I
25
say anything
the
on
25
the internet.
the 25 to 34-year-olds, they'll come for you.
They will
They
after
will
this podcast.
They will come for you and they
Yeah.
will be like, you're fucking wrong.
I just think she dropped the
Wrong.
ball. I think she had a due date. She wrote something. She put it out. It was all right, but it wasn't great.
this feels like my C+ homework.
Yeah, this was like I
Yeah.
turned it in, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, and what's disappointing, I think, is that this was her first massive release.
She just didn't. She could have choked. She
Yeah.
could have choked. She could have been like, I have to deliver. Look at what all these people are doing.
Yeah.
And she just
I
didn't
would
stick-
have.
And she just didn't stick the landing.
I think that's exactly what
and
happened.
it's not that she's not capable.
And I want Sarah to know, in
We
case you're
love
listening
you.
to this, it's okay.
it's okay. And
Just fix it in the
breathe.
next book.
and if
I
you
mean,
need more
We're
time,
here
ask
for
for an
you.
extension.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We will give you an extension
you
all
really
the time you need.
You need a couple of books that are like, no. Because like there's a couple authors that I like particular Robin McKinley, which is one of my favorite books. She has a couple books that are really good, and then the rest are not.
Yeah, it's okay. Not every book has to
And-
be perfect.
Yeah.
We'll
I
give
mean-
you this one.
And
I mean, to be honest, I think Wings and Ruin is just like this one.
Yeah.
I didn't like Wings and Ruin either. So
I liked her. Wings and Ruin.
she's not great when she's trying to move too much around. She gets too many pieces going. She gets lost.
It's just crazy how the difference in like the intentionality between. So many people give her so much credit for intentionality, but in this book, it really shines through that some of it isn't as intentional as you think it is.
Yeah.
No.
And that's why the theorizing to me is like pointless
Yeah.
because she can literally change her mind.
Yeah.
Change her mind.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? And
this isn't Tolkien. She doesn't have books and books and books of backstory that she's pulling from that you don't know about.
Right.
And she says she keeps the lore in her brain. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you need to go to Rosie and a Happy Hermit.
Yeah.
You need to, I think her name is Lily. And you need to
Get
go
some
to
of
them.
them
And you need to hire them.
Spreadsheets.
You need to hire them girls.
You
Because,
write that shit down.
well, and she says she has spreadsheets and stuff. And maybe she does.
She
and maybe
says
we're
she
not
has
giving her
a
enough
little
credit.
notebook, but most of it's in her head. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that.
It's not in my head. It's, I have, like I'm saying, like, I think she needs to hire the people that are really paying attention to
Yeah.
the details of the lore, and she can just pull from it.
Well,
But
and I don't think she's a thorough planner. I don't think she plans the whole series. I think she
Like
plans book to
Ethan?
book.
I
and
think
then-
she has ideas.
But I think she has like tent poles she wants to hit. She's like, I want to hit this. I want to hit that. I want to hit this. And then when she's not getting there, she gets herself there
yeah.
because that's the only guidepost that she has.
And she got herself where she wanted to go, but she missed. She had a lot of misses in this, but I will tell you what. This book, I'm still going to listen to it more than once. I already have. But I'm still going to
Well, I'm glad you were not disappointed by it.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's perfect. I don't
liked
think
a lot
it's
of parts of it.
I don't think it's House of Earth and Blood. I don't think it's Kingdom of Ash.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as like Crown of Midnight,
Yeah.
Right.
you know? Which people would be like, fuck them, I'm never listening to them talk
You
again.
know what? You've come this far. You know how we feel.
Right. If you've
You
made
know-
it to this point. In
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just no.
It felt like a regression, but it didn't feel like she regressed all the way back to I'm the greatest assassin in the world. We didn't go. Bryce didn't tell any. Well, she did announce she was the queen of Elbar Fate before her dad died, but that's cool. Like that's fine.
she
It's-
needed to use it for
Yeah.
negotiations. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you can lie to the Ocean Queen. That's fine.
He was
Yeah.
trapped in a closet
He was.
when she said that.
Yeah.
So
with
I
a
like how
bucket.
she treated them. Yeah, I really want to pick her brain about like the things that she didn't. All I want to say is, I feel like this is karma because I gave Rebecca Yarros such a hard time, and then this book ended up being like somewhat like Iron Flame, and I feel like it's my fault. I just want to say sorry to everybody.
not forgiven. If this is your fault.
I feel like
Honestly, this was faster. Like this was more relentless and like what the fuck
Yeah,
is
it was
happening than Iron
relentless.
Flame.
it only happened in 7 days.
I know it
That's
should not have
insane.
been
It
like
shouldn't
that.
have been like that.
No.
Yeah.
There was no reason for it to be like that.
Well, it's tough because it's her first like huge release.
Yeah,
And
I
I,
get
have
it.
been
It's
asking
fine.
people, like I have been saying that Crescent City is the best of the 3 to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one was just like but, it's
You
not
meant the first book.
yeah, I'm still standing by House of Earth and Blood being the best for me.
The first book was the story she wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And then she needed to go from there to
She's got to have a book with each house on
smoosh
it.
it all together. And so she created a plot line for the rest. But
Well, and I think something that happened is I think everybody was expecting this in-game type crossover for this book, and I think she will do one of those, but I think it's a long time coming.
yeah. Well, you know what this book needed? What would have really benefited us in this book?
It's been a
Danica,
long
Danica
time coming.
flashbacks.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
tiny,
Oh, I
tiny
didn't say
moment Danica flashback.
I didn't say that on the pod. One of the reasons why I wanted the independent book is because I thought that the Bryce and Danica chapter might be the tattoo scene, and it was.
It was the tattoo.
It was
scene.
the tattoo scene. So
Yeah.
I was right about one thing.
I mean, if
You're
you
right
had-
about a lot of things.
If you had broken this book up with like, I can't insert small moments because everything is relentless, but I can do flashbacks to small moments.
That would've been good.
I can do these tiny pieces where I'm like, Bryce is sitting there thinking like, remember that time that I had with Danica? Remember that time I was out with
And
Juniper?
also, I think that this book really lacks a death. Like, it would have been okay to kill Therian.
It would have been okay to kill somebody.
I wanted to kill Therian.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We've got
Because you don't
16
feel the
books
stakes.
and we've got 16 books.
We don't feel the stakes. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why the waffle scene bothers me. Not because of the waffles, but because if you're trying to tell me that these people, that this is a life and death situation, I need everyone acting like it's a life and death situation.
Yeah. I mean, we could have killed somebody I mean, Jessica dying is sad, but
It was her time to go.
that was fine. But
Yeah.
like, what if Lydia had died?
That would have been actually a really good,
Yeah.
tragedy. That would have been like, you'd feel it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Because she got abandoned by her mom and then had to go through all that shit. And then Rune rejected her for finding out that she did the things that she had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that this book, I think if she had taken the time to let Bryce be Bryce and use her charm and wit to get her ahead of things with the, you know, like she could have, I can think of a lot of different ways. Like it didn't have to be so fast,
Yeah.
right? So like what if Hunt and Baxian and Therian, or the three, had gotten out and like lived their life for a little bit? And she had ended up in Prithian for a little while, like a couple weeks, right? And things had settled down a little bit. And then there was like a secret to, you know what I mean? Like it could have been a lot of different things to slow it down and give it some marinating.
Yeah. We
Because
could have dropped
the
a couple of the plot
her
lines.
small moments are what make the big moments.
You need contrast.
Knowing the 13 for 4 or 5 books, getting to
Yes.
know them slowly over 5 books is 4 books, because we won't count Tower of Dawn, is what makes their sacrifice so powerful, right?
Yeah.
Leanne just read that part.
She read chapter 89. Well, I'll have to text her and say,
Yeah.
giving you a hug.
Remember the 13.
Remember the 13, yeah. But you know, that is what she does really, really well. And so with this one, because it was a final book, because it was a part 3, because it was like Wings and Ruin. I mean, she didn't kill anybody in Wings and Ruin. She killed Nesta's dad. She killed the dad.
Which no one cared about.
I mean, I still thought it was really sad. I was still like, it was really powerful when he showed up. Like every time I think about the boats, what are you laughing at?
I will care about that when I get my novella about what Lucian was doing
with his
over
dad.
on the continent.
Yeah. I
'Cause
think it was more.
there's a good story in that.
I think that's more powerful because of his pride in Nesta. That she had been so mean to her dad, and he showed up in a boat leading the fucking way. The boat, his flagship's name was Nesta.
Yeah.
So to see him love so hard his daughter, who had never been anything but nasty and mean to him because he was trying to make it up to her, that was really fucking powerful. And I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
That's what felt emotional about
I
that
just
for
want
me.
to see that scene. Like,
Yeah.
they're literally like, okay, Lucian, fuck off. And he's like, fine. And then he comes back and he's like, so I negotiated with the death god and I got this queen that turns into a firebird at night or during the day.
Yeah,
or whatever.
like let's hear that story.
And I
Yeah.
found this guy whose name is the whatever, and he had these boats, and we came back with the boats, and you're like, well, I want to know all about what just happened.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
So on a broader scale, if we talk about what's going in Prithian now, with the next Akatar book, we now know that prison is probably going to come back to life. They're probably going to have ponies now too. Rhys has Gwydion. They have Gwydion. So I've always thought that Rhysand and Farah are going to have to take. Thank you. Rhysand and Farah are going to have to become High King and Queen. Although I wish they would let the Asteri marinate as a big bad. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to give us some universal crossover and we're going to create a bigger plot, give us somebody that lingers.
I mean, if the Fae from Throne of Glass came over and they were fighting on the Asteri side, then the Asteri were in that world, which means they would have had to have overthrown the Asteri at some point. Unless the Vogue are actually the Asteri, but then how come they were not feeding on the planet in the same way?
Yeah.
Wait, what
So
did you just say?
when
They just recognized Rigelus.
when we watched the whole Celine PowerPoint presentation, she says that a portal opened up and these primal Fae that could shapeshift and had canines even in their Fae form came through the rift to fight for the Asteri.
Because they knew Rigelus somehow. They knew them.
Right. But why would the Asteri have access to a world that they were not in control of, that they were not on and feeding on?
Because they duped them somehow.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand the question.
So the
don't
whole
know.
point of
They
the
were.
Asteri,
They probably were feeding on them somehow.
Well, I mean, but then that means that they overthrew them at some point,
Or they were just.
or they were the Vogue.
They just tricked them. They went over there and played nice for a while, and were like, "You guys need to escape because this just happened." So, or they were the Vogue. Maybe.
But then why would they bleed red?
I don't know, but not the one.
I think there's two different types of Asteri. Because Maeve said, I think that there's like different species of Asteri from the same planet. That's what I think. Because they're the world walkers, the wayfarers.
We'll figure it out, but I think this is 3 hours is good.
Yep.
3 hour good.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
that's fine.
Okay. Should I split this into 2 parts?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
Kate would stay here all night if she could.
I don't really have anything else to say.
Oh, I think we did good.
good.
I think
Yeah.
I think that was a balanced discussion.
Yeah, we love you, Sarah. That's the.
Well, we
but
love you.
What the fuck?
We love you. Just kidding.
We tolerate you.
The best thing that came out of this book was
Ember and Bryce. Ember and Nesta.
Rachel telling us she loved us before this pod.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
just
true.
needed to make sure.
No, I was totally expecting it. I've been expecting it for a week. I was reading it going, oh, this
I was
is
reading,
gonna be
go,
a tough
oh my God.
discussion.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm really enjoying this, but this is going to be hard.
See, and I didn't hate everything you thought I was going to hate. Magical STD.
Yeah,
was fine
but
with.
I could tell how it just
It
sucks
was
to have
not-
gone backwards.
It wasn't her best outing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that it was poorly written, like construction, like word wise. She's got pretty words. She's got pretty prose. It was the plot. It was. I can see her. I
Yeah.
could see her in this book. I don't want to see you. The author should be invisible.
Yeah,
I should believe your characters are doing the thing they're doing because that's what's within their character.
not
to
because
do.
you're telling them to.
Not because
It's
feel
almost
you're
like she
driving.
didn't understand her. It really did feel like she didn't understand her own characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was tough.
All right. Well, I guess until next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Is it hot in here or is it just me?